until Monday.
Leslie, you're on.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, January 2nd, 2019. Happy New Year. And we'll call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is to elect the chair and vice chair of the Board of Supervisors for 2019. At this time, I'll entertain motions for chair.
I would move to have Nathan Mather as chair and Jeff Sorensen as vice chair.
Second that motion.
With Santos, did you say you seconded it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I will turn the meeting over to Nathan.
No, you don't have to.
Give me a gavel and we'll tell you.
Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank Ms. Stoll for that and to welcome our two new board members, Santos Acedo and Doug Holliday. Welcome aboard. Our first item of business is to review and approve the agenda.
Move to approve as presented.
And we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we are here to receive comments from the public. Any members of the public wishing to address the board on a subject that is not on our agenda? Seeing none, we move on to item 5, discussion and possible action to approve claims dated January 2nd, 2019 in the amount of $306,099.24.
Before you move on that, we're requesting to add one claim to that in the amount of $448.06. So the new total would be $306,547.30.
What's that for?
This claim is we discovered that when we moved a person in a position in beginning of December that we were not paying IPERS on them. So this covers the whole IPERS cost, and then the employee will reimburse us for their share of it.
Papers catch up. Okay. So I'll move to approve the amended 306,547.37.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Next up, item number 6, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 01021901, naming depositories.
Amy, do you have anything to say about it?
Just interest rates are going up, and I hope to be taking advantage of the higher rates, so I want to increase the amounts at all the banks just to cover.
And I noticed some of our local banks, one was pretty significant, but the rest are still staying at pretty nominal amounts. That's by their choosing, correct?
Right.
We offer that they can have more if they'd like.
Correct.
Okay. Move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote. Jeff?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Santos?
Aye.
Doug? Aye. And I vote aye. Motion passes. Next up, item 7A, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 01021902, authorizing the county engineer to sign for and collect disaster relief funds.
Move to approve.
Second.
This is a roll call. Jeff?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Doug? Aye. Santos?
Aye.
And I vote aye. 7B, resolution 01021903, authorizing the county engineer to execute certification and completion and final acceptance on farm-to-market construction projects. Once again, a roll call.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Santos?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Doug? Aye. And I vote aye. Resolution 01021904, authorizing the county engineer to close secondary roads in emergency situations.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Doug? Aye. Scott?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Santos?
Aye.
And I vote aye. 7D, resolution 01021905, designating official newspapers in and for Muscatine County for 2019.
Move to approve.
Second.
In a roll call vote. Santos?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Doug? Aye. And I vote aye. And Finally, 7E, Resolution 01-02-1906, Construction Evaluation Resolution.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Doug? Scott?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Santos? And I vote aye. Okay. Number 8, moving on to discussion and direction regarding conservation appointments with Conservation Director Kurt Weiss.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kurt.
Kurt?
Here this morning, you have a list of our 5 current board members. It's been kind of an unwritten rule in the past that board members serve 2 full terms, and that's worked out great for our conservation board. Certain ones across the state have the option to do whatever. I know there's some board members in certain counties that have been on for over 30 years. But it's nice to get some new blood and new ideas and keep it moving on. We're in a situation now that Jim Getkin is up for appointment. He has served 2 full terms, but we're kind of in the middle of several really large projects, as you're aware of. The cabin project, he'd been very involved in that. In fact, he actually went to HNI and wrote a letter, and we received $22,000 from HNI for the fireplaces that are going in the new cabins. So they're using heat-related fireplaces, which are constructed by HNI. And so he's helped out on a lot on some of the other materials that are going in the cabins. And so we discussed this at our last Conservation Board meeting. If it's possible, according by code, he would have to be appointed for another 5-year term. He does not want to serve another 5-year term, but we could keep him on 1 more year. And then that would mean at the end of 2019, our other board member, Mark Peterson, would be up for a reappointment. So we would not be, normally he would be reappointed for another 5-year term. So that it's not that I'm going to have 2 new board members coming on at the end of this year or beginning of next year. It would still be 1 new board member replacement. But you know, coming up, we've got, well, restrooms going in, bathrooms going in, you know, new development on that care facility property. We've got the cabins going in, and this fall we are hosting, along with Eliza County, the fall conference for the Iowa Association of County Conservation Boards here. And so I think would be nice if we could keep the continuity of our board members for 1 more year.
Conserve the Conservation Board.
Pardon me?
Conserve the Conservation Board.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
I'd entertain a motion.
Well, for what we're looking for today is just some direction from you guys that you're okay with that. And then next Monday you'll have multiple appointments to boards and commissions.
Yeah, I support that. I think that's good for continuity for the group to see these projects through. But it's not, we don't have bylaws on the board or anything we're in violation of or anything like that. I support that. I think it's a solid direction. I do know that, you know, I appreciate Jim that he's only interested in a year, because this is a board that's kind of coveted. We typically have no problem filling vacancies on it. We get a lot of residents that are willing to serve on this, so I want to make sure we keep that opportunity available if we can. So I think that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, next up is item 9, discussion and possible action to approve the minutes of the December 17th, 2018 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next up, correspondence. This time we review any correspondence or communication we may have had from members of the public or others. Santos, let's start off on the far left with you. Have you had anything?
I haven't had anything.
All right, you'll get some, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes, I had some conversation with a resident out on 235th about, it was generally a road and slag conversation, but a couple of things come out of it. You know, really, in light of all the things we've heard, you know, he was commenting that he felt that it was significantly more washboard with slag. I don't know if we find that to be true or not, but he also did say that when he called the engineer's office and told them about it, they got out there right away and looked at the situation. So wasn't really a complaint, just offering an opinion, and they had a nice conversation with him. That was it.
I had nothing.
I did not. 10, or number 11, we do committee reports. Jen, I'm assuming you guys haven't had any committee reports yet. I met with the mental health and disability region on 17th, and really spent a lot of time bidding farewell to some of the outgoing members we'll miss. Carol Earnhardt and Sean Hamlin, Douglas Smith, and Jack Willie, long-term members there. So we're gonna be getting some new folks. We started to meet with them. And,
Do you know who they are?
Dan Surf from Hilton and the gentleman from Scott County named Dave Smith. I'll get that to you guys. These people and they're coming in, I think, very well prepared and getting around. Scott?
On Wednesday, December 19th, we had bi-state, and I sat on Riverbend Transit Board, and from that seat, I sat on the Region 9 Transportation as well there. And also on the 19th of bi-state was their monthly meeting, of which they had a program on about the expansion of I-80 and the different work that's and projections in regard to overpasses and basically making a 3-lane east and west both out of that. It was very interesting to listen to that. And on the December 20th, I had a Fair Board meeting, and things have moved nicely on the Heritage Hall. They are ready for the above ground construction on that building, just as soon as their timing falls in line for the cruise. And with this mild weather that we're having, it wouldn't surprise me at all for them to get started this winter on this. So that's all I had.
Jeff?
Okay, on the 18th, we had the MCC JCC meeting. Interesting. I think we're gonna be back a couple of times on that. On the 19th, Region 9 Transportation as well. The big issue on this meeting, we talked about, there was some concern when we originally approved the SWAP program. The DOT said, you can do what, it's your choice, do whatever you want. That was a kind of unburdening the engineers' offices from a lot of federal legislation, because the DOT was gonna take the federal oversight part of the SWAP and then give us state dollars so we could treat it like a normal project. There have been some concerns raised around Davis-Bacon wages. City of Muscatine, said they were interested in bidding all their projects with Davis-Bacon wages. The DOT originally said, no problem, you can do that, put it in your spec, and we'll let, they've restated their position and says, we are letting the bid. You can put whatever you want in the bid conditions. We're not telling you that what you put in the bid conditions is legal or not, because apparently Des Moines attempted to do this or something in Polk County and was struck down because they, something around taxpayer and benefit, public benefit. So there's some issues. You can't just go out and say, some arbitrary stuff in your bids. They have to be good. I think the county engineer or county attorney would give us the proper language. You have to prove that they're of benefit to the taxpayer. So basically what the DOT is saying, check with your attorneys. If your attorneys say you can do it, you can do it. Our website will let you put anything you want in your specifications. And then on the 27th, we had the meeting of We Lead. They introduced the new director up there. So I'm hoping that moves forward and we get that organization back kind of forward and steady. But RJ Garten, or NJ, I'm sorry, NJ Garten, she's from Tipton, right? Currently resides in Tipton. But I think she'll do a great job for the folks of West Liberty.
Okay. Number 12, receive information from county employees. Does anybody have anything to offer? Everybody's moving, so number 13, items with the administration office. Item A, discussion and possible action to set meeting dates and times for 2019. Nancy, do you have anything for us there?
No, this is just where you guys decide if you're gonna continue the Monday morning schedule or if you're interested in doing something different.
Okay.
Anybody want to rock the boat?
Well, I'll just for history's sake, I'll share that I think 8 years ago when I came onto this board, we went to when there was a fifth Monday in a month, we were doing an evening meeting. And then we did that, and that, I don't know if that, how many times did that? We did a couple of we did two things, and that didn't make any difference, so we went back to just the one, and then last year, the board decided just to go to Mondays straight across the board, 9 AM. Me personally, I saw absolutely zero difference in attendance when you had a night meeting. And I showed up some mornings when there were just night meetings, and I'd say well, I'm sure that happens to other people. I'm on board. I would make a motion that we stick with the current schedule of Monday mornings at 9 AM.
And I would second that.
It's easier for everybody.
And we've always had the caveat that if we're going to have a meeting that was something that we know there's gonna be a lot of people who want to attend, and an evening meeting would work better. You guys have the option to
Sure.
schedule
We
that.
can set a special meeting
Yep.
anytime we want.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So that would be my motion, is that we just stick with the current schedule, which is Mondays, unless a holiday falls on a Monday, then we don't have a meeting at 9 AM. The 9 AM works best, I think, for staff. Of course, I'd love a 7:30, but that's okay. 9 AM works best for staff, because they do have work to get prepared many times. There's
Sure.
things that have to be made ready before the board deliberates, so.
Do we have a second?
I have a second on that.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor of sticking with 9 AM Mondays across the board?
Aye.
Opposed? 9 AM it is. 13B, review Board of Supervisors appointments to boards and commissions for 2019. In your packets is the list that we had for 2018.
And the expectation is not that you vote on this today, that we put this on for action next Monday, but this is an opportunity if there's any boards or commissions specifically that people want, or that existing board members are willing to pass on to somebody else. This is kind of your opportunity to talk about that.
Now, Bob had a very heavy load, so I don't know if we'd want to dump all that on either Buzzards or Doug
Well,
entirely. Do you guys have any suggestions?
I would take the conservation board, I was on previously, I would take the conservation board back on.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have the list right in front of me, I will pick up some stuff with being the vice chair, so I'll have to pick up vice state. And so there are a couple that I would probably need to get rid of something, because I'm running into, Wilton Development Corp is becoming difficult for me with a couple of the other meeting schedules that I have. It's run into my Region 9 a couple of times. It'll get pretty close to a bi-state. So I think that might be one that somebody might be interested in.
When do they meet?
They're monthly, they meet every month, third Wednesday at noon.
So that is a bi-state.
So it smacks right up on bi-state.
Is that Wilton or?
It's in Welton. Or I could switch off of West Liberty. One of the two economic developments I'd probably have to jump off
What's
of.
the West Liberty one?
West Liberty is the third Thursday at 7 AM.
I could do
Yeah.
that one.
Okay.
Doug is a little more for you. Wednesdays.
Yeah. Yeah, noon to 1. They're and these organizations are right as rain. They meet every month, so.
Let's see. Conservation Board took care of, E911 Service Board.
I would like to I'll take the, I think that the E911 and the EMA from Bob, I'll take those, because I think there's some history there that I can bring to the board that might be good to be aware of. So I could do those. I think those are generally evening meetings, right, Brian?
Yes, and they typically meet back to back.
And then, so that evening meetings are not a problem at all for me. So I can do those. I would like to stay on the Region 9 Transportation. I'm currently the chair on the policy board, and I think that is a good position to be in. I don't know how long they'll leave me there, but make sure that we keep kind of our good say on the, like I said, it's good that Scott has stepped in on the other side from the Transportation Board, because been some issues that we've been able to stay ahead of with the two of us.
The flood control commissioner, both Matt and Bob were on that. You gentlemen be willing to serve in those capacities, or how do you guys want?
The flood, that commission, you know, was Santos, and I don't know if you're, you know, or Doug, I don't know that thing meets frequently or often, if at all.
I don't think,
I mean, so that's really kinda, if it meets, you'd go to it. In my 8 years, I don't recall a meeting of it. So, might be one that,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
I'm not sure they know what's going on.
Sure, if there's a flood.
This, MC, that's MC.
And then the REP commission, I'm not even sure I know what that is.
The REAP Commission,
Commission?
Kurt can talk about that one.
Yeah, I'm currently the chair on that. It only meets if there's a grant going in by one of the entities, either one of the city or the county conservation board for a REAP grant. And it's something that probably needs to be changed in code, because we have to meet to approve the grant for, essentially, if the city of Muscatine wants to put in a grant for new playground equipment, we'd have to meet, the committee meets, and we either recommend or deny them putting the grant in, which, you know, I mean,
Oh,
it's,
applying for the grant.
yeah, and so it's like,
Doesn't seem like an extra layer of government, does it?
yeah, that's all it is.
Scott, you're on the conservation board, you would be on the conservation board, does it make sense to put the, in the event that they meet, someone on the conservation board on that?
Sure.
Let's see.
What about that safety committee?
They meet once a month. It's the first Wednesday of the month, and I think they typically meet at 3. I think this month we're meeting at 2, but typically they meet at 3. And that's a group of mostly county department heads, and what they do is they review any work comp incidents that we've had, and work on policy and procedures, yeah.
Is that you volunteering, Santos?
I don't know if I would get value on that one, without knowing all the policies. We've seen yet too much on that.
Doug, you've,
I
all right, thank you, sir, appreciate it. I think one of the big ones, or no, not yet, is the Veterans Committee, is, when did they meet?
They meet, I think it is, it's the first or the second Tuesday of each month, and I think it's usually at 10 a.m. But I can find that out for sure.
Nobody else is, I'd be happy to do that. I'm not hearing a lot of objections. So-
Nobody's fighting you for it.
Let's see, Solid Waste Management Agency, when do they meet?
I think they meet quarterly. I think they meet quarterly. And I can find out more information about, I think they're usually evening meetings.
They were 6 o'clock at the transfer station quarterly. Thursday night, I was on that board for a while. I'm guessing it's a bit in flux because the solid waste, with Laura leaving that position, there've been a second body in since. And then, so I have no idea what's going on that. So that, it's the county landfill, the city runs it for us, and this commission manages that process.
And as I recall, didn't they seem to have trouble getting quorums there at times?
Big time with quorums, because it's the city, the county, and then other small municipalities. We had, Fruitland was religious at being there, but that was it. We had a lot of trouble, but I believe Pat had told me that it's better now. Either Stockton or West Liberty has appointed reps that are doing a good job of coming, so. It's important work. There's a lot of things going on at the landfill that we need to be aware of, the county needs to be watching, and it's a fairly easy deal.
I would be willing to jump on that one. I'm pretty familiar with the landfill, and we just, I'd like to know when that
Yep, I will get some information for you.
might conflict with someone's position.
Very good, thank you, sir. We've got a space to fill for the Muscatine County Joint Communications Commission.
I'm already on that, right?
You
Yep.
are, yes, sir.
So that would be, I would guess if Doug or Santos, it's a not frequently meet, it's a joint commission with the city of Muscatine and us. We're on air, so I won't say it's a wasted time, but it's a commission that we really need to figure out how to get rid of. But anyway, one of you two, that'd be a good one to kind of pick up what's going on. It won't be a big deal. It's usually an evening meeting, 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, they typically
Usually
meet
do about
quarterly.
4 o'clock, and it's a couple council members, us, and the dispatch center, basically. Doug, good, thanks, Doug. And I'll stay on that one as well.
We need appointments to the Magic Board as well.
When is my term over? I got another year.
This year.
I got another
No,
year.
next year.
Yeah, the end of
Oh,
it's
you're
this
Yeah,
year.
oh, yeah, this year. That is this year. I forgot. I'm still in 2018.
And you got,
Like at 5 o'clock.
They meet at 4 o'clock quarterly on a Monday.
Yeah.
Don't ask me which one.
Yeah, I can do that magic board.
and then,
I've been on it before.
And then milestones, which Bob is on, he has indicated that there's not a requirement that it be a board member, just that it be somebody appointed by the Board of Supervisors. So he has indicated that he is willing to stay on that through, he's currently the chair or the president or whatever they call them in that group, and he's willing to stay on that
Till
at least till the
July,
end
I
of
think
his,
he said.
till July, I believe.
So I'd recommend that this board appoint Bob.
it's got like 20-some counties that they're responsible for.
17 counties,
17.
it's in Ottumwa most of the time, so.
Yeah,
Bob's-
and he knows all about it, so if no one's got any objection,
And I think initially, for many years, Dick Marr did that, when I initially was on the board, and I think continuity there, and if Bob was willing to continue to do it, he's done a great job with it, and I think he'd be, watch out for us real well.
Anybody else have any changes they'd like to make? Okay, you get everything, Nancy?
I believe so. So I will update this list, and this will be on next Monday's agenda for you guys to take action on.
Fantastic. Thank you. 13C is authorizing the chair to sign the certification statement for the Muscatine County fiscal year 2018 cost allocation plan. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. 13D, action to accept the December 2018 payroll claims.
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. We are moved and approved. Anybody have anything else?
I do not.
Seeing nothing else, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Perfect.